Wednesday, April Wednesday, 8th, maybe. I am in a different spot. Feels a little like Vlogmas. I sometimes did my Vlogmases from here when I'm showing you my knitting. Oh, I can show you my knitting. It is late in the day for my vlog to start, but I just got up a few minutes ago. This is my first cup of coffee. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. We did not have a good night in this house. We had violent thunderstorms last night from 2 o'clock to 5:30. I went to bed late last night, so I wasn't asleep when the thunderstorms started. The thunderstorms might have kept me awake on their own because they were really, really loud. But Pearl is very afraid of thunderstorms. So we were all awake and fussing and upset and cuddling and cooing and trying to calm her down till 5:30, something like that. So I did get a few hours sleep, but I am very low energy at the moment, and it's going to be a quiet, slow day. I'm so glad this didn't happen the night before last, and that because we got all our errands done yesterday. We got the groceries bought and disinfected and delivered, and it turned out to be quite an ordeal. You know, I mean, this whole process changes everything, you know. You can't just bring your groceries in and put them away. And we had to bring his mother's groceries in and disinfect them before we took them over there and change the bags and everything. So that took way longer than we had hoped. So I'm very glad we're not doing that today. That's all. I'm very glad. But she got her groceries. We got, you know, we're able to sit and talk for a few minutes. I mean, I find it hard to actually credit almost any information we're getting these days, you know. Unfortunately, now I've decided I don't like the angle of this, so I'm going to change it and make you seasick. Oh yeah, so that's way better. But right now, what I've heard, and who knows if I heard it from a super expert, that even if you contact coronavirus, and contract coronavirus, you're not contagious for 24 to 48 hours. So even if we came in contact with coronavirus, which, you know, hopefully we did not, and even if our procedures didn't work and we got it, we would still not be able to give it to them. So we sat and visited for an hour. Poor Aura. And Garland, she said, "Come, I hope you can stay for a little while. Dad's going crazy because he doesn't have anybody to talk to but me." I get it. I have you guys. It helps. But anyway, so it's going to be a really slow day. I had made some dough for graham crackers that I tested the other day when I did my podcast, and they turned out delicious. They taste like snickerdoodles rather than graham crackers, but either way, I'm good with that. So I may make another batch or two. I have enough for 2 batches, 2 pans full. So I might do that today. And Dennis has been making white chocolate, which is delicious. And I was thinking about, I have a pretty good chocolate chip cookie recipe these are all for low carb cookies. And Dennis made some white chocolate for me to make white chocolate macadamia cookies instead of chocolate chip pecan cookies. He doesn't like pecans, so he's anxious for those. So I might do that, and he's going to be making some soup. It's kind of dreary out. It looks bright. It's bright, but cloudy. It poured rain for like a minute, and then it stopped, and then it just thundered, and then and then 10 minutes later it poured for a minute. So I had no idea what the state of the yard was going to be. It's not terrible. I mean, it's going to get muddy in here today if we keep the dog door open. But it's not raining, but it's muggy out there. So that was interesting, and I just didn't have the energy to be outside. Is that weird? I don't know. I'm going to show you my knitting because I've been crazily really enjoying knitting this, and you might recognize this. This is my Karina sweater that I showed on my podcast 2 podcasts ago. I took out the bottom of it and I knit that whole piece, which ended up being 4 more inches, and now I'm starting the bottom ribbing again, or garter stitch. I wore this sweater for 4 times at least after I made it. And I think I finished it about a month ago. I finished it out. I think I showed it on the podcast where we came back from skiing. And every time I wore it, I'm like, oh, this is too short. This is not a comfortable length. I'm pulling on it. I'm this, I'm that, So finally, the last time I wore it, I guess it was a podcast day, I put it on after I took off my summer sweater I had made. I showed you all. And I'm like to Dennis, this is too short. He says, oh, yeah, it's too short. I said, yeah, it's too short. So I picked out the woven in end and unraveled the bottom, and it's interesting because I don't know how long my it's a pretty garter stitch row, and I think the bottom was about this size, 2.5 inches. It says 2.5 inches on the pattern. I think I kind of went by the pattern, which is why I'm not happy with the length. But 2.5 inches of garter turned into 4 inches of stockinette. Isn't that funny? Oh, that was pretty funny. Maybe 3 3/4 because I had to pick back an extra 1/4 of an inch. There was some weirdness going on. I don't know. I don't even know what it was. It was just this random. Oh, I might have dropped a stitch. That must be what it is. I bet I dropped a stitch, and I went back with a piece of yarn and fixed it. That's what it was. And so I had this random piece of yarn, and when I was undoing it, I had woven in the ends of that yarn, and it was getting in the way, and I picked at that, and then I have this piece of yarn. I'm like, what the hell? But I bet you that was it. I bet you I had dropped a stitch. Anyway, so I'm sitting there knitting, and really enjoying it. So I guess the reason I'm not knitting on my linen sweater is because it's at the lace. I'm so weird. So I'm enjoying my little bit of stockinette. Now I'm doing garter. This will finish the bottom of this in a couple hours. And then, and I decided the sleeves were too short. I'm going to do them too. So the next time I podcast, this will be a finished object again, because I feel like I'm like refinishing it, but I'm much happier with it. And I know I'm going to get a lot of wear out of this. And I think it might feel a little bit like, I might feel a little bit more like I thought I would from the, to match the pattern. Because I've always wanted the sweater to look like the pattern. Of course, So maybe once it's a little bit longer, it will look like the pattern to me, and I will feel happier with it. It's not supposed to be super long, but it was way too short. I needed those, at least. We'll see. 4 inches might not be the exact right number, but it's right enough. I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to keep knitting on that. Well, I sit here and try to wake up and move around, but I took Dennis some tea. We are going to be a low energy day, both of us, because this is that was like not a good night. I mean, a really, really not a good night. Poor Pearl. She was so nervous. And of course she made Maisie nervous. So then Maisie got nervous. Because if Pearl's upset about something, she's the older sister. She knows best. We want Pearl to teach Maisie all kinds of stuff. Unfortunately, that may be the main thing she learns. Pearl's learning stuff from Maisie. She's hopping around at the park now and she sees people just like Maisie does. Anyway. It'll be easy to stay home today. It hasn't actually been that hard for me to stay home. It's all been psychological. It's all been sort of a mood thing and worrying about the world, But in terms of feeling like claustrophobic or, anything like that, I haven't really, we just always spent a lot of time at home. So it's not the actual physically not being able to go out. I didn't have a routine that took me out a lot. But it was always nice to, I'd get in the car and go to the yarn shop or go to the Goodwill or take my mother-in-law to lunch, things like that. And that was always nice to do, to be able to do. So I'm sad that I can't do that, and I'm sad I can't visit my parents. But on a day-to-day basis, staying home is not a hardship. It's the psychological upsetment of the world and worrying about the kids and the parents and the friends and the world. So, anyway, but not much going to happen today. Not that much happens any day. I'm taking it easy. Again, nothing's changed. I've always been taking it easy. But I'm tired. So I'm going to go get myself another cup of coffee. And I guess I'll upload this low energy. Oh, I'm wearing my boxy by Joji Locatelli. I have it over a shirt. My shirt is like a tunic, really long tunic. And then I have my boxy over it, which I thought, oh, that's a cute look. This tunic is way too big for me. I was at my sister-in-law's not last Christmas, the Christmas before. Excuse me. A couple weeks before Christmas, and she got a package from her friend. And it had this shirt in it and a sweater. And it was really lovely from Banana Republic. And she's like, Ruthie. She always buys me clothes that she likes, her style. She doesn't buy me clothes that are my style. I said, hey, I think it's great. She says, here, hands it to me. But of course, she's a small. At the time, I was an extra large. Well, I was a 1X. It was from Banana Republic. And she gave me the gift receipt and said, I like the cardigan, but I'm never going to wear that. I love it. So I was putting it on today. I've been wearing it, it's soft and, gray and whatever. So when my daughter and I went to the Banana Republic, and they didn't have the exact one, but I tried on another extra large, and it fit me well enough. So I ordered they mailed it to me. Too many details. You don't care. Anyway, so I ended up with this oversized tunic that wasn't oversized when I got it, but it's really oversized now. And, I'm thinking about when I go to switch my clothes over a lot, most of the clothes on my bench are going to go to the Goodwill. And I'm like, you know what, but I'm going to keep this because I've worn it and it's very roomy, but it's comfy and soft and I like it. And I can wear it underneath my boxy, and then my boxy turns into a cooler weather sweater than it might otherwise be. So by Joji Locatelli, and I made this out of Miss Babs Yowza yarn. I don't remember the color, but it was all I still have almost a whole 100 grams left. Yeah, I have quite a bit of it left. So I can make a matching hat if I wanted to. Or socks. I don't know if Yale's a sock yarn. I have to look it up if it has nylon in it. Why am I saying that? Like I'm going to make socks. Ugh, I haven't done anything but sweaters in a really long time. But I do love wearing my sweaters, I will say. So. And I'm really annoyed with myself. I can't find that pom-pom magazine. I'm almost tempted to buy that pattern again so that I can sit down and make it, except I want to make the Rocaine, and it's got lacework on the yoke. And I'm like, maybe I'm not ready for... I'm not going to buy that until I'm ready to cast it on. If I haven't found the pattern, the pom-pom magazine, when I want to cast it on, I've decided I'm just going to buy it again. Then the designer gets some money and... and I can do the knitting I want. But, ooh, the sun broke through. Yay, I should be on the deck. But until I'm ready to cast that on, I'm not going to do that because it's got kind of a lacy yoke, which is not up my alley right this minute. But the other pattern that I got yarn for is mostly stockinette, so I might cast that on. There are people who have more than one sweater on the go. I could have more than one sweater on the go. Of course, now I feel like this one's on the go too, but it's going to be done today. I don't know about the sleeves, but the bottom will definitely be done today. So, because I'm not moving fast today. We will go for a walk. That's it. That'll be it for the day. That's the only thing I have to do. Because tomorrow is another day. And it could end up being more of the same. Hopefully there's no thunder tonight. Oh my gosh. Poor Pearl. She was so upset. We were not happy campers either. 4 o'clock in the morning. Still cuddling our dog. But we were just tired. She was afraid. We're all a little bit afraid now, I think. So, you need to cuddle when you're afraid. So, consider yourself cuddled. Anyway, I guess I'll go. I'm really rambling now. 20 minutes of not saying a damn thing, so sorry about that. Like that's something new. Anyway, stay safe and stay sane.